In a world increasingly dominated by sleek minimalism and stark contemporary design, a gentle rebellion is taking root in homes across the globe, one that celebrates warmth, whimsy, and the timeless romance of countryside living. The cottagecore movement, with its emphasis on handcrafted beauty, natural textures, and nostalgic charm, offers a soul-soothing alternative to modern life's digital demands. When woven together with English farmhouse elegance, this aesthetic creates homes that feel like pages torn from beloved novels, spaces where afternoon tea tastes sweeter, rainy days feel cozier, and every corner holds the promise of a quiet, beautiful moment.
Welcome to Rustic Elegance. Let's embark on a journey through the beauty of rustic decor, celebrating the warmth, simplicity, and natural charm of this timeless design.
Shabby Chic Cottagecore, small romantic home design with timeless English elegance. The enchantment of romantic small house design transcends square footage limitations, proving that intimate spaces can house enormous amounts of character, comfort, and joy. This design philosophy embraces the art of thoughtful curation, selecting pieces for their emotional resonance rather than their size, creating cozy reading nooks that invite hours of peaceful escape, and transforming everyday routines into moments of domestic poetry. Rather than fighting against the constraints of small spaces, this approach celebrates them, creating homes that wrap around their inhabitants like a beloved cashmere shawl. What makes this aesthetic particularly compelling for modern homeowners is its emphasis on sustainability, personal storytelling, and the gentle art of slow living. Instead of purchasing complete room sets, this philosophy encourages the gradual collection of meaningful treasures: grandmother's china displayed with pride, vintage books that carry the scent of old libraries, and handmade textiles that whisper stories of their creation. The result is homes that feel authentically personal rather than professionally staged, spaces that grow more beautiful with time and tell the unique story of those who dwell within their walls. 1. Living rooms that embrace, where stories unfold and hearts find rest. The art of comfortable gathering. Design your living room as the emotional heart of your cottage home, where every element contributes to a sense of welcome that extends beyond mere aesthetics. Begin with seating that prioritizes comfort over formality, perhaps a vintage Chesterfield sofa reupholstered in soft linen, paired with a collection of mismatched armchairs that each bring their own personality to the conversation area. Layer the seating with an abundance of pillows in complementary patterns, small florals mixed with gingham checks, perhaps a touch of vintage lace or hand-embroidered details that speak to traditional needlecraft. The goal is creating a space where people naturally want to curl up with tea and a good book, where conversations flow as easily as the soft fabrics drape over well-loved furniture. Creating focal points with heartfelt collections. Transform your living room walls into galleries of personal meaning by displaying collections that reflect your interests and travels. Group vintage botanical prints in mismatched frames for an organic, collected over time appearance, or create a reading corner anchored by floor-to-ceiling bookshelves filled with beloved volumes arranged by color for visual harmony. A fireplace mantle becomes a seasonal canvas for displaying treasured objects, antique candlesticks, small ceramic animals, or a rotation of fresh flowers in vintage vessels. These personal collections should tell the story of who you are rather than simply filling wall space, creating conversation starters and moments of beauty that reward closer inspection. Budget-conscious cottage elegance. Achieve authentic cottagecore style without straining your decorating budget by focusing on DIY projects and treasure hunting that yield maximum charm for minimal investment. Hunt for furniture with good bones at estate sales and thrift stores. Pieces that can be transformed with chalk paint, new hardware, or beautiful fabric. 2. Create custom pillow covers from vintage tablecloths or curtains, giving new life to forgotten textiles while adding unique patterns to your room. 3. Visit library book sales for vintage volumes that add color and character to shelves, and scout farmers markets for seasonal flowers that cost far less than florist arrangements while supporting local growers and adding authentic cottage garden beauty to your romantic living space. 2. Enchanted entryways, creating first impressions that feel like coming home. Cottage welcome, setting the romantic tone. Transform your entryway into a prelude of the magic that awaits within by incorporating elements that immediately communicate warmth, history, and gentle sophistication. 4. A weathered wooden console table becomes the foundation for your welcoming vignette, perhaps topped with a vintage brass mirror that reflects natural light, a ceramic pitcher filled with dried hydrangeas, and a small stack of leather-bound books tied with grosgrain ribbon. 5. The secret lies in selecting pieces that appear to have been lovingly collected over time, rather than purchased in a single shopping trip, creating an entryway that feels like the opening chapter of a favorite novel. 6. Add a hand-hooked rug and soft florals and position a small wooden stool nearby, perfect for changing shoes while adding to the cottage narrative of practical beauty. 7. Space-saving storage with storybook charm. Even the most compact entryways can embrace cottagecore functionality through clever storage solutions that double as decorative elements. 8. Install a vintage-inspired coat rack with multiple hooks at varying heights, perfect for family members of different ages while adding vertical visual interest to narrow spaces. 9. Beneath this, position a whitewashed wooden bench with hidden storage, ideal for stashing seasonal accessories while providing a place to sit and reflect on the day ahead or behind. Complete the functional beauty with woven baskets tucked strategically around the space, each one containing different necessities: umbrellas, dog leashes, or fresh flowers waiting to be arranged throughout the house. Artisanal touches that whisper romance. Elevate your cottage entryway through carefully chosen handcrafted elements that celebrate traditional arts and gentle femininity. Consider adding removable wallpaper and soft botanical prints, perhaps delicate roses or trailing ivy, that creates instant character without permanent commitment. Hang a collection of vintage brass bells that chime softly when the door opens, or display a small shelf of antique perfume bottles that catch afternoon light like tiny jewels. These personal touches should feel discovered rather than displayed, creating an entryway that invites exploration and suggests the treasures that await deeper within your romantic home sanctuary. Three, dreamy bedrooms, sanctuaries for rest and romance. Creating a feminine retreat. Design your bedroom as a personal sanctuary that celebrates softness, beauty, and the gentle rituals of rest and renewal. Begin with bedding that layers texture and pattern, perhaps white cotton sheets topped with a vintage quilt, a collection of pillows in soft florals and gentle stripes, and a throw blanket in mohair or cashmere that invites afternoon naps. Choose furniture with romantic curves and interesting details. A vintage vanity with an ornate mirror, bedside tables with scalloped edges or hand-painted details, or perhaps an antique armoire that provides storage while serving as a stunning focal point. The goal is creating a space that feels like a retreat from the world, where getting dressed becomes a pleasure and bedtime routines feel like acts of self-care. Vintage treasures and modern comfort. Balance the romance of antique pieces with the comfort and functionality required for modern living by thoughtfully mixing old and new elements throughout your bedroom. A vintage iron bed frame becomes more comfortable with a high-quality mattress and contemporary bedding, while an antique dresser gains new life with fresh drawer liners and perhaps a coat of chalk paint in a soft, romantic color. Add modern conveniences discreetly, perhaps a bedside lamp with USB charging capabilities hidden within vintage styling, or blackout curtains lined with beautiful vintage fabric that provides both practical light control and aesthetic beauty. Personal touches that tell your story. Complete your cottage bedroom with accessories and details that reflect your personality and create daily moments of joy and beauty. Display perfume bottles on a vintage mirror tray, creating a glamorous vignette that makes morning routines feel more luxurious. Hang family photographs in antique frames, or create a gallery wall of botanical prints that brings nature indoors. Add fresh flowers to your bedside table. Even a single bloom in a small vase can transform the energy of the entire room, connecting your personal sanctuary to the natural rhythms of the seasons and reminding you daily of life's simple beauties. Four, kitchens that nourish, where cooking becomes poetry. The heart of cottage living. Transform your kitchen into a space that celebrates the domestic arts and makes everyday cooking feel like a joyful ritual rather than a chore. Open shelving becomes both practical storage and display opportunity. Arrange vintage dishes, colorful mixing bowls, and glass jars filled with pantry staples like a functional still life that changes with the seasons. Choose a color palette inspired by English cottage gardens. Perhaps soft sage green cabinets paired with warm cream walls and natural wood countertops that show the gentle wear of daily use. The key is creating a kitchen that feels lived in and loved, where beautiful tools encourage creativity, and the patina of daily use adds to rather than detracts from the overall charm. Displaying beauty in everyday objects. Elevate your kitchen's cottage aesthetic by treating everyday items as decorative elements worthy of display and admiration. Hang copper pots and cast iron skillets from a wooden rack, creating both convenient storage and warm metallic accents that catch and reflect light throughout the day. Fill open shelves with collections of vintage mason jars containing dried herbs, colorful grains, and homemade preserves that add both beauty and functionality to your cooking space. Display fresh herbs in small ceramic pots on windowsills, creating a micro-garden that provides cooking ingredients while connecting your indoor space to the natural world outside. Cottage kitchen essentials on any budget. Create authentic cottage charm through strategic selection of accessories that deliver maximum impact without requiring significant financial investment. Hunt for vintage linens at antique stores, tea towels with hand-embroidered details, tablecloths with delicate lace edges, or pot holders in cheerful florals that add personality to daily tasks. Invest in a few quality wooden utensils and cutting boards that improve with age and use, developing the beautiful patina that defines authentic cottage style. Visit local pottery studios or farmers markets for handmade ceramics that support artisans while adding unique beauty to your kitchen. Each piece slightly different from the others, creating the imperfect perfection that makes cottagecore so appealing. 5. Garden sanctuaries, extending romance beyond four walls. Outdoor rooms with cottage soul. Create outdoor living spaces that feel like natural extensions of your indoor cottage aesthetic, where the boundaries between house and garden blur beautifully. Arrange vintage wrought iron furniture around a small bistro table, perfect for morning coffee or evening wine while surrounded by climbing roses or jasmine that perfume the air with natural fragrance. Add comfort through weather-resistant cushions in soft florals or classic stripes, creating seating that invites lingering conversations and quiet contemplation. String vintage-style Edison bulbs overhead or place lanterns strategically around the space to create magical evening ambience that transforms your garden into an outdoor room perfect for intimate gatherings or solitary reflection. Container gardens with cottage charm. Embrace the cottage garden aesthetic, even in small spaces, through strategic container gardening that maximizes beauty and functionality. Group vintage galvanized buckets, weathered terracotta pots, and repurposed wooden crates to create layered planting displays that change with the seasons, spring bulbs giving way to summer herbs and autumn chrysanthemums. Plant cottage garden favorites like lavender, rosemary, and sweet peas that provide both beauty and practical benefits, creating a garden that engages multiple senses while connecting you to traditional cottage gardening practices. Add height and structure through simple trellises or obelisks that support climbing plants while creating architectural interest in your outdoor space. Budget-friendly garden romance. Transform even the smallest outdoor space into a romantic retreat through creative use of affordable materials and plants that deliver maximum impact for minimal investment. Visit end-of-season plant sales for bargain perennials that will return year after year, creating lasting beauty for a fraction of the cost of annuals. Repurpose household items as planters, old teapots, vintage boots, or wooden crates that add character while providing homes for small plants. Create privacy and enclosure through strategically placed lattice panels or hanging baskets that define your space while supporting climbing plants that will grow more beautiful with each passing season, proving that romantic garden style is accessible regardless of budget constraints. Conclusion. The journey of creating a romantic small house with cottagecore and English farmhouse elements is ultimately about cultivating a deeper relationship with your living space. One that prioritizes emotional nourishment over impressive square footage and personal meaning over trending aesthetics. This approach to home design celebrates the radical act of slowing down in a fast-paced world, finding beauty in everyday rituals, and creating spaces that support contemplation, creativity, and genuine comfort. When successfully embraced, these design principles transform modest homes into enchanting sanctuaries that feel infinitely more spacious and luxurious than their actual dimensions, proving that true luxury lies in thoughtful curation rather than expensive purchases. The enduring magic of cottagecore style lies in its celebration of domestic life as a creative art form, where arranging flowers becomes meditation, preparing meals becomes poetry, and maintaining a beautiful home becomes an expression of love for both self and family. In our increasingly digital world, the tangible pleasures of lighting candles, tending plants, and creating beautiful tablescapes offer grounding experiences that connect us to generations of homemakers who found deep satisfaction in these same simple rituals. This design philosophy acknowledges that our homes profoundly influence our daily happiness and emotional well-being, making the investment in beautiful, meaningful spaces an investment in our overall quality of life. As you begin crafting your own romantic cottage retreat, remember that authentic style develops gradually through patient discovery, gentle experimentation, and the gradual accumulation of pieces that truly speak to your heart. Allow your space to evolve organically over seasons and years, adding elements that bring genuine joy rather than rushing to achieve a finished look. The most enchanting cottagecore homes are those that tell personal stories through carefully collected treasures, creating environments that feel genuinely inhabited and deeply loved. Spaces where every day holds the possibility of small magic, and where the simple act of being at home becomes a source of daily contentment and creative inspiration.